or a bus and go to Brevard for a 2 o'clock game. So they have to be at school at 7 o'clock. They have to get on the bus at 8 o'clock. They get there at 11 o'clock. They play at 2 o'clock. Play till 4, stay till 5, get home at 8. Does the trainer have to get paid time and a half from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. when they worked 3 hours at a game?
If they work beyond 40.
They're already at 60.
All right, well, that's the answer.
Do they have to clock in at 8 a.m. when they leave on the bus, or do they only have to clock in?
Well, it depends. It depends. If you require, okay, if you require athletic trainers to travel with the team, if you require that they be there so many hours ahead of time, if instead you say, you have to be there for the game, get there on your own, okay, then it's commuting time. Well, I'm just sorry, that's commuting time.
That's commuting time.
Well, it is commuting time. Travel to a location is commuting time. It's not required. I didn't make the rule.
I did read somewhere, and I could be wrong, I did read in that situation, if the athletic trainer is on the bus for 4 hours, not doing any work and not driving, those 4 hours are not included. Is that not correct?
It's not part of the travel regulations. I don't know where you read that, but but it comes down to what you require. This is outside the regular work day. No, but if you require, it comes up. If you don't care how, there's some cases, for example, involving employees going out to the fields, right? And the employer, as a kindness, offers a bus to go to the fields. Because the worker doesn't want to drive out to the field. Sometimes 4 hours out to the fields or wherever they are. So then here's the bus. So the question came up, do I have to pay the worker for the time he's in the bus to go out to the field? Answer, no. I don't have to pay that, okay? Because the employer didn't require him to get in the bus. So you get to the field. Good luck, get to the field. And I hate to say it, but it's sort of the same thing. If you were required, because you want to be sure the train is there, you want to be sure you've got a trainer on the field, you require them to get on the bus? I don't agree, and I don't know where you read that, but I'm just saying it's what you are requiring. You're requiring them to be on the bus, you may have to pay for that time. I mean, this is all, guys, this is all shaking out. Our office will be doing more and more, I can see now we should be doing weekly bulletins on this stuff as the issues come up. But I am saying that if you want, it's what you think the students want. Yeah.
Let me add a nuance to this.
Okay.
For many of us, we have teaching programs in athletic training where the students, there are students who are serving an clinical experience with the teams, with a certified athletic trainer. They receive a degree at all times when they're working with that team under the supervision of the athletic trainer, whether they're classified head or assistant. They are in a teaching role.
And you don't have to pay them overtime. As a matter of fact, they're not even an employee. So you got good news.
Well, for the students, but how about the instructor who is the athletic trainer supervising their clinical experience with the football team, with the basketball team?
He's teaching. He's teaching. Right? He can't do his clinic. He can't be in a clinic without a teacher, right? It's a sine qua non. Wait. All right. Wait. Okay, I just want to get back to one of these. I'm going to give you a formula. And this formula applies if you have a good estimate of the expected weekly work hours. So if you think I know how much this employee regularly works in overtime, and you want this employee who's salaried today, or what they take home in the W-2 today, to be the same if I reclassify. So they're exempt today, right? And they're working some overtime. And it costs me 50 grand. I don't pay, I'll be less than that. It costs me 30 grand. And I don't want it to be any more than 30. That's why I got my budget. It's got to be 30 grand. Okay? This formula I'm going to give you will lower their rate, obviously, but it's permissible. In the end, because of the overtime now, they're going to get 1/2 of the overtime, they're also going to make 30 grand. But it's going to be cut up differently. The rate, of course, is going to be lower because you multiply by 1.5 with the overtime hours. So what I'm saying to you now is you've got a worker who now makes 30 grand. It's just a straight 30 grand because you're classifying him as exempt. So you're not paying for any overtime. Now because I don't want to raise it from 30 to 47, I'm going to reclassify. But I don't want him to make 40. I don't want him to make 30 grand because I got to pay overtime. So what you do is you apply this formula. Take the weekly salary and divide it by the following. 40 plus, ready? This multiplication factor. Overtime hours times 1.5. And if you use that formula, you'll come out the same. Let me give it to you one more time. We thought you would kill us if we had too much math, so we didn't put that slide up there. But I see there's an interest. So if you take their weekly salary and you divide it by, you know in math, parentheses, there's going to be two factors to the plus. First plus is 40 plus, parentheses, overtime hours times 1.5. And that will give you, the worker is not going to be happy because his rate's going to be less now, but the worker will have the same W-2. The worker doesn't lose except for his rate.
You gonna add that to your slide?
Should I?
Yes.
Of course I should. All right, so you can make a note. We'll add it. And we need to have an example of how it works. Yes.
Does the employee have to agree to this mutually? Like
He does not.
the flux?
He does not.
Why not?
And what's good about it, he does not have to agree to it, but you have to tell him about it.
Yep.
And here's one thing. In at least 3 states, Missouri being one, if you're lowering the rate of an employee, you're not going to lower his net, what he's going to get at the end. But if you change the rate, you have to tell the employee within, some states it's 7 days, some states it's 30 days. You can't lower an employee's rate without giving them advance notice. Now, you have, and please, good luck explaining this, but essentially, the worker's salary is going to go down, but the money they're going to make at the end of the year is exactly the same. If you apply this formula. Now, it only works if you know how much overtime.
So if you know that they're gonna work 60 hours a week, another 20 hours of overtime.
Perfect.
So you're lowering the rate, so you get 30,000.
Absolutely, correct, yes. So the rate now might be,
But you have to do it on an annual basis.
correct.
Yes.
And you know, sometimes you're going to win, sometimes you're going to lose. Doesn't that going to work the 60? Worker wins. He works 65, you win. All right? Is he glad to come out? I'm sorry, go ahead. Why are you asking me to go here? I don't know.
If we go this route, you still require them to do the same kind of record keeping in terms of
Yes,
mileage.
absolutely. Yes, it does. This does not excuse the record keeping. You still have to keep. As a matter of fact, for at least a little while, I checked to make sure your estimate of 50 was right. And that they want, because if they're working less overtime than you guessed, you're overpaying.
Right.
And I can put a slide in on that showing like a whoops. Yeah. You should like some of this next time. Okay. How are we doing on time?
Ellen.
I have 3 minutes. I know. I gotta keep on track. Okay, so we're close. Okay, we're close. So we have slides, and there. You got a bar?
Minimum wage. We're lawyers, so we're like teachers. You don't have to pass minimum wage.
So one thing, so the first thing I told you to do, you have to do, is to go through your workers, see who's exempt, see what they're paid, see if they're the teaching thing. Are you going to reclassify? Not exempt anymore? Or bump them up? You have to decide. Second thing you have to do is you're going to have to do some FAQs and some nice and warm and fuzzy documents created to tell those that will be reclassified now to non-exempt that they have to keep track of every hour they work for you. And when they go out for lunch, you have to know when they leave and when they come back. And when they work at home, you have to know what they're doing when they come work at home. And when they travel, you have to know about travel time. We didn't get into all those slides. Okay? You cannot volunteer cannot volunteer in the same work that you're paid for. So, because that's the rule. Sorry.
But I want to. Let me sign something.
No. There was a case called Susan, I know I'm going away, but Susan and Tony Alamo. They have a foundation out in some place, I think it's in Utah, and they had these drug addicts who went there to dry out. And the drug addicts worked in their store. They had a store, they sold stuff. And the drug addict said, I want to volunteer in that store. I want to come back, I want to do something valued for society. I want to help people. I want to work in that store. I'll sign something. Give me something to sign. They all signed. You know what came in? I made Tony and Susan Alamo pay them minimum wage plus time and a half for every hour they worked in the school. Because you cannot, I mean, you have to change this DOL or do something, but that's the rule. You cannot volunteer in the same type of job as your counterpart. Okay, anyway, so the bottom line is, there's a lot of work ahead. If you meet again, and you want us to come back, you got the December 1, we love Asheville, it's beautiful, but at any rate, good luck, and thank you for your time.